Hey, I'm Olivia,
And hey, I'm Dad.
and you're listening to Soarin' Around WDW. Happy Thanksgiving, flight crew. We are currently soaring home to sunny Florida for a week with family in our hometown and are so looking forward to some family time. But first, we wanted to take a moment and say a huge thank you to all of our lovely listeners, as well as some special friends of the podcast. Today, I wanted to shout out some podcasting friends that we have met through doing this show and via social media. We are truly so grateful for their friendships and wanted to highlight them and their amazing work so that if you don't already, you can add their shows to your must-listen lists. I am going to highlight each show with their description, why I love their show out of the hundreds of Disney podcasts out there, and my top 3 favorite episodes that they have put out. I will also link their social media handles in the show notes so that you can find them and give them a follow on Instagram, in addition to following their show on whatever platform you currently listen to the podcast on. First up has to be my friends over at Idiot's Guide to Imagineering. Stephen, Katie, Marissa, Amanda, and Jenny are some of the most lovely and supportive people out there. Their show was one I found shortly before deciding to start our own podcast, and I fell in love with the show. Their concept is imagining new attractions, pavilions, hotels, and more for the Disney parks using their prior cast member knowledge. This show is the first one I listen to each and every week, and one that I always look forward to every Monday. Their concept is super unique and original, and their production makes it feel like you are riding right along with them. It always makes you sad when the episode ends and their newly dreamed concept doesn't actually exist in the parks. They drop new episodes each week on Mondays. Some of my favorite episodes of this show are Season 1, Episode 21, The Great Holiday Movie Ride, featuring all kinds of holiday movie favorites like Home Alone, and Season 2, Episode 21, All-Star Movies Resort DVC expansion. Hint, it has to do with The Parent Trap, as well as Season 3, Episode 25, the Season 3 finale, Idiot Imagineering Showdown, where Steven and Marissa went head-to-head with an attraction competition based off of what they had given to them at random. I also was lucky enough to be asked to come on as an honorary idiot on this show. My episode was Season 3, Episode 10, Expedition Nat Geo, where Katie reimagined the seas and I had the best time. Steven also was gracious enough to be on our show for our From Freaky to Freakier Freaky Friday episode back in August, which was so fun. We had a lot of laughs. Idiots, I am so thankful for you. Make It Magical is the next podcast on my Thankful For You list. This podcast duo, husband and wife Emily and Clayton, are some of my favorites to listen to. After being on the air for over 3 years now, they recently started a YouTube channel where they have video in addition to their audio content. It is a must watch. They cover everything in Disney history, attraction deep dives to Disney movies, and also their own trip recaps. They are avid Run Disney race participants as well, and both have completed the Walt Disney World Marathon. Another reason I love this show is just how genuine Emily and Clayton are. Emily sends the sweetest magic mail, and last year I got to participate in a puzzle share with her on a Disney Parks puzzle. They release new episodes every Wednesday, same as us, and they do also have a Patreon. My favorite episodes of this show are episode 148 and 149, which is exploring the exhilarating history of Soarin', episodes 91 and 92, the Ultimate Disney Song Showdown, and episode 151, our 3-year podiversary Get to Know Us. Thank you, Emily and Clayton, for bringing some joy to our lives each week. Next is Where I Long to Be. This is no ordinary Disney Trip Report podcast. Virginia brings thoughtful questions, and her pre-trip and post-trip format leaves you wanting to immediately book your next trip and start planning. I found this show early on via Instagram, but actually started regularly listening after my own travel advisor, Katie, was a guest on her show and immediately was hooked. Monday mornings are her release days, and she drops the pre-trip and the post-trip at the same time each week. My favorite episodes of this show are her Labor Day weekend birthday mother-son trip from October 2025, Rebecca's Disneyland Paris Voyage d'Anniversaire from December 2024, and Katie's Marvelous Disney Cruise in January 2025. I may be a little bit biased on that last one. I have been lucky enough to be a guest on this show not only once, but twice. My first time talking about our trip to Disneyland, which came out in July of 2025, and second as a special guest on her podcast roundtable discussion with Piff and Sav earlier this month. I am thankful for you, Virginia. Thanks for putting out such great content for us to enjoy each week. Another podcast that is an auto listen at the start of each week is Backlot Tours. Also found through Instagram, Zach and Jana's banter makes for a lot of laughs. Jana has a history as a Disney Store cast member, and her stories from her time there are great. They go through all kinds of content like DIHUs or Does It Hold Up, trip recaps, and fun topics like what Disney park things live rent-free in your head. They release new episodes weekly on Mondays as well. My favorite episodes of this show are episode 308, Rent Free, 232, Camp Rock. I truly laughed so hard in this episode. If you've watched Camp Rock, you need to listen. It's hilarious. And 116, Xenon, Girl of the 21st Century. Thank you for the fun weekly content, tour guides. Last but not certainly least are our friends Nick and Chelsea over at Mickey in Minutes. Nick has had this podcast going for 7 seasons, which is a huge accomplishment. You can tell just how much they love Disney. The music, the history, the nostalgia, it makes listening so much fun. Nick also does have some vlogs up on his YouTube channel. He does a Mim Mondays live on Instagram every week, but if you miss it, he also posts them to his YouTube and Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all of that. My favorite episodes of this show are Season 7, Episode 9, Our Favorite Disney Vinyl Records, Season 6, Episode 9, A Goofy Summer Movie, and Season 7, Episodes 12 and 13, Disney vs. Disney. Thanks for your support and content, Mim fam. A few other shows that I follow and listen to that are a little newer or newer to us, but still worth a follow, are the Disney Trip Report podcast with Maddie and Derek, Magic We Made with Brianna and Alex, and Parents on Disney with Lucy and Catherine. These are all shows, again, that are new or newer to me, but have really enjoyed the listen and getting to know these hosts through social media. Next up, I do want to say a quick thank you to all of you guys. We have streamed in not only the US, but Canada, Russia, the UK, Sweden, and Poland. How cool is that? While streaming is mostly done on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, YouTube is not far behind and also a streaming space called Overcast. We wouldn't be where we are today without all of you, so thank you so much for taking the time to listen to our show, follow or subscribe to us, and rate or review. It truly helps our show so much, and every review and 5-star rating brings me so much joy. I would be remiss if I didn't say a huge thank you to Dad, who stepped in as co-host of the show when Reeg had to step out. It truly has been so amazing to get to talk Disney with him every single week. And thank you to Reeg for helping to get this podcast off the ground. Even though he hasn't been able to be as involved as the show as I wish he could anymore, the show still began with our sibling bond and memories in the parks together, and he still makes a guest appearance from time to time. It's time to wrap up the show and get the turkey defrosting in the sink, but before I do, I also want to say thank you to the mouse and the late Walt Disney. Without them, our lives would not be the same. Although the parks have changed a lot and there has been more controversy over the last few years with the company, the Disney parks are truly where the magic happens and dreams do come true. For all the memories, I will forever be grateful. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving filled with people that you are most thankful for. And as always, we will see you next week. Hey, thanks so much for listening. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to give us a follow on Instagram at SoarinAroundWDW Pod, where we share fun reels, throwback photos, and dive into our old versus new debates. If you're listening on YouTube, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. And for our Spotify listeners, a follow and a 5-star review would mean the world. If you're listening on Apple, hit that 5-star button and leave us a written review as well. Thanks again for joining us. See you next time.